Right, I thought I'd do another little chat. I went out and tried to do a snowman, but I slipped twice, nearly broke my neck. Well, that's a bit of a sore subject, isn't it? Broke my neck. Well, I made a little one, and I filmed it and everything. I went and did a walkabout while it was all nice and heavily snowing, showing all traffic getting stuck and everything. And I bumped into a friend of mine, and he came back here, and I introduced everybody to his dog. Then he went away, and I filmed a bit, and I had a go at zooming. I zoomed in to hilltop and filmed all kids skiing down on sledges and that. And I've just seen a friend of mine, and he said to me that I told him that I'd actually been able to zoom in from my gate and zoom right in at the park, right in at the top, right up to where the zip wire is. And then there's a steep hill, and kids had the sledges on that. They were going down on the bellies and everything. And what happened? Tyrants had to come and break it all up, didn't they? They never give up, do they? Kids just trying to grab a bit of a laugh and cheer them up. And they're out there saying, "Get in, get in, get in." It's like Scrooge when they used to shout it on Wings on Strange Ways back in early 70s. Well, I'm saying early 70s. 76 what early Star Wars in Strange Ways. When Mr. Brown was governor. Wow. Them were the days. And I'm talking down on cons, down on E-wing and E, F, G, H and I-wing. All them what cons. E-wing is longest wing in any prison in country. If your mate stood on the other end, you wouldn't recognise them. Imagine having to go all the way under the centre and all the way back to the other end, the wing, with a piece of bacon size of a matchbox. There were guinea pigs. Guinea pigs. That's what I told that inspector at York. He had to be a guinea pig because he was less than 5 foot. I'm sure he was. In fact, that's the funny thing I noticed about them police at York. They were all midgets, all very small. And there's one of them that arrested us at the COVID site. It looks like this comedian chap on YouTube. As soon as I re-find it again, I'm going to take a copy of it, because Marty won't believe the resemblance between them. I thought I'd just talk about on this chat about fiddles I had going in certain prisons. And I'm going to start because I like Northallerton. It's a pet project. When I first went to Northallerton, it's only a little porky jail. So I thought, oh God, this is going to be terrible, this. screws are going to be all over you like a rash. So I went in, and first job I got was SMR shop, sewing machine repair shop. I didn't like that job. It were alright, I suppose. It learned me something I didn't know before. And then a vacancy come for visits. Oddly, and I put in for it. And by pure luck, I got it. Wow, straight away. This old orderly that used to be up there, he got sacked, and he said, you'll be able to get some money in. He says, get him to drop it in 5 bucket on the way in, at the bottom of the stairs. As soon as Screws got him in and they sat down, he'll go through to go get the list through. You've got time to nip down, get it out of the bucket, fetch it back up, stash it in your, wherever you're going to stash it. We had 2 places we could stash it. One was actually right under the noses in little lockers, but I didn't like that. So I rigged the light switches in ladies' and gents' toilets. So screws were still in, and you couldn't tell that they were out wrong with switch itself. And I could just pull front off. So the pull front off, put a 20 in, shove it back on. They'd tell me, well, there, first opportunity I got, I'd be in. Get it, give them the nod. And that was before they'd even got off the visit. I would then move it from there into one of the lockers, for which I had the key. Everything would go as normal. Cons would go back to wings and everything. I'd start tidying up. Screws would go and everything. Then I'd go in and I'd get my centre brew and everything. Shout, let me out, boss, to Censor's office. Take them a cup of tea in. And then I could take whatever money I was taking out in change for notes that I'd collected that day. Because I never brought the notes out of there. Once I'd got the notes, I knew how much I'd need. I'd have the change in the lockers already. I also had it for a couple of 20s. That were like a week and a half's my wages. So covered for that. So I'd stash the 20s in the tea room, in the same place, in light switch. Make sure I wiped it and everything. Then I'd go in and I'd take the change in and pay the kid for the money, and that was it. Deal done. Then I'd wait for my visit to come up, and I'd put the money into the ladies' light switch. My missus had come up, straight into the toilet, money out, go sit down. Then as soon as I come up, she'd tell me she'd already got it. Well, Screw would come up and say, oh, your visit. I'd say, oh, sound boss. And I'd already had a stand-in. That was just one little figure. I was just daydreaming then, thinking about X. I couldn't believe it. Memories start coming back and that. So what happened then? in their wisdom, decided that I needed to go out on an outside party. So they told me I was going out on garden party. Well, I was devastated, mate. Everybody was going, it's better money and everything, you're out all day and lot. And I said, listen, I'm happy with my little job. I happen to love my little job. I even had a screw that used to change me in the 20s. He used to give me 15 for 20. That was a good deal, that. And then I used to give £2 for a 20 or £2.50 to some people. So I was doing well, Screw were doing well. So when I got, well, I didn't get sacked, I got promoted in their eyes. They put my heart onto gardens. And that's when I was coming back from garden party, we used to come back at tea time. And where the new police HQ is now, just as we're walking past that very spot, is about where I found the wallet on the road containing Chief Inspector. Oh, I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry, I've got to do this. When I get these cramps, it's like muscles trying to tear off me. You know, like a really bad strain. And it gets worse and worse. Well, the easiest way is to massage whatever muscle. Oh God, that felt like my calf getting ripped off. Oh. Wow. I'm actually sorry about that, people. It's horrible, that. Well, anyway, I'm walking back past on to where police HQ is, and I saw everybody walking over at Wallet, and I think that was because they thought Screw was actually watching them. But he actually wanted, he said later. So anyway, excuse me, I'm just... So anyway, I could see all lads in front of me walking over this, what was looking more and more as I got closer to it, to be a wallet. And I thought, I'll just pick it up. So as I got to it, lad in front of me didn't pick it up, so I just bent down and picked it straight up. Opened it up, and right in the ID part, where plastic thing is, where you put your licenses and stuff, what Chief Inspector's identification, and a picture of him in full uniform with all braiding on his hat and everything. And I noticed it said Chief Inspector, but what I didn't notice what name. I was trying to look quick before Screw got hold of it. So anyway, next thing I knew, I've opened Wallet and it's got notes in it and that. But by then I thought the screw had actually seen me. So well, he did look at me, and as he looked at me, I went like that. And he went, "Well, what's that?" I said, "Well, you've just watched me pick it up, haven't you, boss?" He says, "No, I didn't see you pick it up." I thought, wow. I said, "Well," he said, "have you had out of it?" I said, "You've just watched me pick it up, boss." I said, "I hadn't had time to take no out of it." I said, "I have to be quick, you've been looking at me." He said, "I haven't been looking at you." I thought, wow. So anyway, he looked at it and then he saw ID and he saw name and he said, "Wow." He said, "What are odds of that?" I said, "What?" I said, "All money being still in and badge." He said, "No, name on badge." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, what are the odds of a chief inspector losing his wallet and then a convict finding it and handing it in intact the same day? What are odds of that? As if that ain't bad enough." He said, "But then have a look at the name. Chief Detective Inspector Arthur Taylor, based at Northallerton Police Station." I've had a lot of trouble with them because when I got going round on these audits and I got round to going and doing Northallerton, although it's been knocked down and bits that they can't knock down because there's parts of it protected and there's parts of it protected, so they can't knock it down. Oh my God, my back. Oh. And what it is, they're doing it back up and doing it all out and everything, and do it same as Lancaster Castle does, and gonna give tours and charge for tours. It's another way of robbing money off public, innit? Put it in council's pocket. So anyway, when I'd done the prison bit, I went over and asked to see Inspector Arthur Taylor, or if he weren't there anymore, where was he in? Because I needed to thank him for tobacco he sent in. Because when the screw gave him his wallet back, he gave the screw 2 ounces of tobacco, 2 ounce pouch of Golden Virginia, and he told him to give me that. So Screw came up to my cell one day and he opened the cell and he said, he looked about, tossed it on my bed. He said, that inspector has sent you that for handing his wallet in. I went, wow, could have made it 4 ounces, couldn't he, boss? You know, take it, mate. But I was very grateful I didn't have any time either. But that made him guilty of conspiring to smuggle tobacco into a prison when it clearly states on every prison gate, don't smuggle drugs, don't smuggle tobacco. It actually states tobacco. So I didn't get to see him, obviously. So because I told Tail outside then and I came away and put the audit up, I started getting trolled off his family, who were also PCs and so on at Northallerton police station. So they kept trying to justify what the grandfather and everybody had done. And I said, look, I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, he's as guilty as I was. He's a criminal. I'm sorry I ain't got a perfect record. Criminal's a criminal, that's it. He's guilty of conspiracy to smuggle tobacco into a prison with prison officer that worked there. They were both as guilty. I was very grateful. That don't make no difference. None whatsoever. It don't make it right, does it? What he should have done was put the equivalent into my private cash, left me a note to say that he'd done that, and then I could have spent that money in private, out of my private cash. That would have been it. No, illegal. So why didn't you do that? No. So his family kept trying to justify what he did and what they're saying, and they couldn't, and they knew that. So I'm not a text type of person. So because a friend of mine hadn't done that to police station, we went up again. And by pure chance, I dropped on one of Chief Inspector Taylor's family. But I'm not going to say too much about it, because I filmed them doing it as well. And they assaulted me as well. So these police forces, that's North Yorkshire, that's Northallerton and York, both in North Yorkshire, from where I'm banned from at minute, just pure tyrants, that's it, don't matter. I think it's because they're all little dwarfs. They're all little dwarfs, and it gives them an inferiority.